Hello, how are you? So I hope you're doing well. So basically I want us to start today's class. So we'll just look at some of the trades that we did last week. And again, we will also look at the trades that we'll be looking for in this coming week. So I hope you had a good week and you enjoyed your week. So last week we did our first class and we were able to do a lot of analysis. So according to the analysis that we did, so we have a lot of trades that went according to what we were analyzing. So if you want to look at how we did, you can just go and look at our first video. So it's there on YouTube. I will also post this one on YouTube. So for you to just try and learn and see that these things are possible. So last week we had the AUD USD trade, which went well. The USD chief basically did nothing, is still correcting. We are hoping to catch that trade. The USD card also is in a bigger correction. So you can just look at our last week's analysis and try to see how we did things and how they are going. So the USD Japanese yen is also getting a bigger correction. So that is a trade that we are hoping that we will not miss. So the Euro Japanese yen also is a trade that we will not afford to miss. The Euro Australian dollar is going the way we predicted. The Euro card is also going the way we predicted. The Euro New Zealand dollar is going as we predicted. The GBP AUD is going as we predicted. The GBP New Zealand dollar is also going as predicted, and the New Zealand USD. There are also others that I didn't catch, but they are also going as we predicted. So basically, you can just go to our video and look at it, and be sure and try to comment on anything that we might work to improve in the future. So that is how we just learn and grow. So if you look at this, you can see that we have our group, which is a live trading room that we do using Slack. So we also share. So every time we share charts. When we see a trade, we share it. So for example, this is a trade that I shared on YouTube, not on YouTube, on Facebook. So I hope some of you caught it. So, and if you didn't catch it, I hope it's going to come down for one move down and you can be able to catch it again. So just be sure to manage your trades. Just be sure to try and manage your trades once you enter them. Because entering a trade is one thing and managing the trade is another thing. So this move basically is happening the same way we were expecting it to happen. So it just came up, then it's coming down correctively. Then we expect it to come to this low again, and then we can take that trade again. So I entered down here, took small profit when it started coming down. Then I'm waiting for it to come down again and take that move. If it comes to this top again, I take the small profit and move on with my life. So I just want to show you the way we track it. So this is the trade that we entered at this particular point. So what it did, so it just came up to these levels and now it is coming down. So what we can do, we can just let it come down, and this is the move again we look for. So I entered here, I took my small profit there, and I'm waiting it to come down and just move on. So now this was the move that was updated by my colleague. So we took this trade. So it rose a little. Came down. Some people are worrying, but that's the trade. So our stop loss was. So when I was sharing that trade, everything was well set out. So, and those trades, there are so many. So we have them in our daily meeting room. Which we do via Slack. But for you to join that group, you have to pay for you to join. So it's only for paid members. So we can just go and look at. So we can just look at a few trades for the day. So I want us to start with the USD chief. So you can see what the USD chief is doing. So basically what the USD chief is doing, so you can see that it is just correcting. It's just correcting. So I was expecting this move to happen yesterday during the NFP, but it didn't come. So we expect this move to still happen. What is going to make this move happen? We don't care or we don't know, but we know this move is going to happen. As long as it's continuous moving the way it's moving, you can see it's just correcting. So this is the move, but we are looking for this bigger move. But when it will be coming to these particular points, we'll try and look at what it is doing so that we can manage our trades. So we'll try and look at what it is doing so that we can manage our trades. So this is a good trade, and we will be hoping that we'll catch it. Then we also have the USD card. So we talked about this pair last week. So then it started correcting. So you can see that it is correcting. So if you didn't enter at these particular points, for example, I was telling you that I missed this trade. So this is a trade that I will not afford to miss. This is a trade that I will not afford to miss. So I will just look for this trade when it breaks this particular trend line. When it breaks a correction, then that is the trade. This is my first target, but if it continues going down, I will move with it. If it starts coming up, I can look for that buy. But this is the trade that we expect in this coming week. This is the trade that we expect in this coming week. So the USD yen, so we were looking for this trade, so it didn't happen last week. So what is happening is that a bigger correction is just forming itself. A bigger correction is just forming itself. So we can see it's about to be exhausted. We can see how it is struggling. We can see how it's struggling. We can see how it's struggling. So expect it to break aggressively, and that is the trade we are looking for. That is the trade we are looking for. So these things that's easy. They're easy. So as long as you can identify an impulse and a correction, so basically you can trade the waves, and you will be able to do well. So this trade, we talked about it during the last week. So some people are arguing a lot about buying. I was saying that I expect it to come a little down. I expect it to come a little down. So it came down. So I expected it to come down at least to this particular levels. It hasn't come down up to there, but still, I still feel that this trade is not ready for a buy. It's not ready yet for a. It's not ready for a. It's not ready for a buy. It's not ready for. It's not ready for a. So for a buy. So what can happen during the next week? So this trade can keep doing this. So it can come down, up, down, then now that is the trade that we are looking for. Now this is the trade we are looking for, but it's not ready yet. So expect it during the next week to come a little down. So expect it at least to come to this lows. So basically, I will be looking for a buy when it comes to this lows. I'll be looking for a buy when it comes to those lows. But again, remember, it can come to this lows. So it can move that way and come to these lows, then come up. So I don't expect anyone to look for these small cells. So the trade that we are looking for is that trade. That is the trade we are looking for. So the Euro Japanese yen moves the same way the USD yen moves. The Euro Japanese yen moves the same way the Euro the USD Japanese yen moves. So these are trades we have been looking for so long, So I've been sharing these trades for so long. We were looking for it at this particular point, at this particular point, at this particular point. So when we were sharing this chart on 1st of January, I was saying that we have seen an impulse and we expect a correction and then another impulse. So this impulse had already happened. So, and we were saying that we expected a correction for another impulse to come down. So this correction is what has now completed. So now it is at this particular point. It's correcting, and that is the trade that we expect. So we entered this trade from these highs, and so it came down, took our profit. We waited for it there. Then again, we entered again. Now it is just correcting. So what we do is just wait for that trade. That is the next trade that we are looking for. These things are easy. So you can just go to any of my charts, just click on the charts. So, and once you click on the chart, you will see what happened after you posted the trade. So the good thing about TradingView is that once you post an analysis, you cannot be able to edit it or change it. So people will see how your trade turned out after you had posted it. So what is in this other dark side is what happened before we posted the chart. What is in this other side is what is happening, or what has happened after the chart was posted. So this was our correction. Now, this is the move that we are waiting for. Now that is the move. Those trades are easy. So basically, I wasn't looking for this pair. So I'd promised that I will do a chart. So this is a trade. This is the trade we shared on. This is the trade we shared on Facebook. So there are some few traders who took that trade, and I hope they are not giving back that money to the market. So in many days, you find that people enter trades because they don't know how those trades are going to unfold. They will give that money back to the market. Basically, I entered at this particular point. So it went up, corrected, boom. Then that was the move. I got out when these weeks were happening. So now what I'm waiting for it to come down, and I will enter again. I know this is free money. So what you can do, just set your alarm. Just set your alarm at that particular point. When it comes down, just enter, stop loss there, first target there, second target there. So it can still come up, then come down, then it goes. So don't give back all this money to the market. So for example, if you entered this point and you did not get out, so it means that you've given all this money back to the market. That is not how we trade. So that is why I always tell people to invest in learning. You don't have to come and pay me, but look for a good person who can help you and just go learn and grow. So we also shared this trade. So things are turning out the way we expect. So basically, on that last class, we were at these particular areas. So what happened? A correction happened, and this move came down. But I was telling people that you were not supposed to be looking for this trade. This was the trade that we were looking for. But now you see, so we have already made some money, but you can see the way it's rising. It's not rising aggressively the way it did rise here. Basically, we were looking for a trade that is similar to this particular trade, but it is not rising the way it rose there. So basically, this means we expect one more down for it to rise up. So in this coming week, I expect this pair to come down one more and then that trade. So what I will do, I will just get out and wait for this pair to come down and enter again from the bottom. But still, doesn't mean that if you are in this trade that you should just jump out immediately. So what we do, so you can see that we already have you can see that we already have a trend line there. So I'll just wait for it. If it breaks this trend line aggressively, I'll just get out and wait for it to come down and so there I will just get out with small profits. So it can still do like this. So it can still remain above this trend line, but that only means that it will take more time than we expected. So we were expecting this trade to be a 12-day trade. So maybe it will be longer, or maybe it will come down for one more move, then it will move up. So we have already made some few money there, and we expect to continue making money this coming week. So we have the New Zealand, the Euro New Zealand. So the last time we were also looking at this trade, so we were at this particular points. So what happened on Monday on that particular day? So it opened on a gap, with a gap. So there was a gap there, there was a gap, there was a gap, then our trade went. Our trade went. So we also talked about that pair in our last class during the last week. So we were saying that our first target is there. So this trade is already moved. So I don't expect you to start chasing the running candles. So if you entered there, well and good, you can just move your stop loss to break even and just relax. So it will keep moving higher to those particular highs. So these things are easy. These things are easy. So basically, I usually say that trading is simple, but not easy. It's simple, but not easy. When you know what you're doing, it will always be simple. But when you don't know what you are doing, you'll keep paying the fee to the market. So it's funny how people don't have money to go and pay fees, but they have money to give to the market for free. But it's the problem, we don't care. So if those who have ears, let them hear, and those who don't have, let them keep doing what they want. So we are talking about this pair. This pair is also doing the same as the pair we have just looked at. So it has still not confirmed to me that is going to rise up, but I expect it to just come down and at least come to those particular highs, or even up there. So basically, you can see it is behaving the same way. This other pair. This other pair was behaving. So this is the same. This is the same setup. So this is the same setup that is happening there. That is the same. That is the same setup. So we see these moves on so many particular days. So we also looked at this pair in our last week. So I remember when I was sharing our last class, so we were at these particular levels. And I was saying that what you should do is look for a correction and enter if you are not in from those particular highs. So basically what happened, the correction happened and it broke down. So the correction happened and it broke down. So now this was the correction. This was the correction. This was the correction. So it is already breaking down. So if still you didn't enter on that particular trade, what you should do is just go to lower time frames and look for a correction and enter. This is still a good trade. This is still a good trade. That is still a good trade. So you just have to learn to see these simple moves. So many people don't have a problem with the impulses, but most people have a problem with even identifying the impulses. So we talked about this trade during the last week. Nothing has really happened on this trade. Nothing has really happened on this trade. So basically, when we were talking about the last class, we were at this particular point. So it did correct. It came down, but it is still not coming down aggressively. So expect one more move up. So that correction, then that is the move I'm looking for. That is the move we are looking for. That's the move we are looking for. So let it do what it wants to. Let it do what it wants to do. So this move is what I expect to happen during the next week. Then, so now that is our correction. So this is where we enter. Stop loss behind there, target there. A move like this. So what you do, you can just, so you just go. So that is the move we are looking for. So that's the move we're looking for. So during the next week. During the next week. So that was also a simple trade. That was a simple trade. You can see what is happening. So that was a simple trade. So we also did this pair. So I was laughing at this pair because, so it will still do what it's doing. So basically what happens, this is a correction, this is an impulse, this is a correction. So you can see, this is a correction, this is another correction, this is another impulse. So I expect this move to happen then. But the problem in that trade is that it is a very long-term trade. And I was joking with my friend that for you to take this trade, you'll just take it in maybe on Monday, and you will have to wait for 2022 for you to take your profits. So I don't know if you have that patience, but if you have, that is it's also a good trade. So I just hope that there is a day that we can have better people who will be posting better analysis, and we can be able to benefit from those analysis. People posting a lot of screenshots doesn't really help anyone. So we also talked about that pair on the last week we were here, and we were saying that pair will keep doing the same thing. So I was expecting to come to this particular highs, and that's what it did. But you can see what it is happening here. There is a correction that is happening here, meaning this, the way we were saying that we expect it to come to these highs and then come down, meaning that maybe there is a one more up move that is going to come there. So what I expect it to do on this particular week that is coming, so I expect one more up move. So one more up move, at least to this particular highs, or at least to this particular highs. Then that is the trade I am looking for. That is the trade we are looking for. All these trades, we have a live chat room on Slack, and we always update them and look at how they are moving. And if there is something that we need to change, we always change it there. So basically, I can encourage people to just come join us so that we can be able to grow together. So that we can be able to grow together. So that was also a good move. I was in that trade. That was a good move. I was in that trade, and I'm still in this trade. So I expect it to come to this particular levels. I expect it to come to this particular levels there. So if you're not in, what you do, just look for a correction and enter, enter. Stop loss behind the previous impulse. Stop loss behind the previous impulse. Stop loss behind the previous impulse. This is an easy trade. This is a very easy trade. It's a very easy trade. So we also talked about that trade. So if you want to see what we talked about it, so you can just go to our last week's class and look about it. But it is already moved, so we don't expect you to chase the running candle. So I don't see any setup at that particular point. But you can still look for corrections on lower time frames and enter. So correction, enter. So this is our target. That is our target. So that is our target. So basically, as long as you know how to look at impulses and corrections, so you will always find yourself making money. So we also talked about that trade. There's no setup at this particular point. There's no setup at this particular point. But what I expect it to do, in this coming week, I expect the New Zealand dollar basically to keep coming down. But the move that we got was that move. Got that move, we made some money, and we are on to the next move. So I hope I will update I'll give a few trades on Facebook in this particular week. So what you do, just look for an impulse and a correction. When the correction is completing, just enter the trade and just manage your trade as we move on. You know, the problem with most people is that at times you find that they start fearing. And because of fear, so they get out of good trades very early. So you find that someone gets out of a good trade very early because of fear. And some people enter too with a very big lot size because of something that we call greed. So don't expect to be rich tomorrow. So if you expect that, you will be poorer on that particular day. So we also looked at this pair during the last week, and we were saying that we were expecting to sell at this particular points. So basically, it hasn't moved much, but it is doing what we were looking for. Basically, it's doing what we were looking for. So what I can see that it's forming a correction. So don't let this trade turn into a bad trade. So don't let this trade turn into a bad trade. So what I can suggest you do, because of, you can see here there was an impulse. So I expect it to make one up move before it comes down. So what I will suggest that you do, if you are in this trade, you can just get out and wait for it at this particular highs and enter again. And enter again. So you can see what is happening. Basically, you can see what is happening. It's just a correction. The correction is just getting bigger. So I expect it to at least come to this particular highs. So let it come there and enter again. So don't let your trades turn into losing trades. So you can see how it was behaving there. So expect it to make one more small up move. Basically, it's just a correction that is getting bigger. Let it come there. That is your trade. Let it come there. That is your trade. So we see these things a lot of time. So it's all about the eyes. It's all about the eyes and seeing the correct thing. So we also talked about that trade last week. So there's nothing big that has happened there. So basically, I think we are done. I don't think there's any other. So if you have questions, you can always reach me via Facebook. You can also use my number 0715 120 106 or 0710 516 061, and we can always have a talk. So we also looked at this pair when we were looking for this move during the last week, but this move didn't happen exactly at that particular way we were looking for it. So the market opened with a gap. So it opened with a gap. So we took this trade from these highs and it came down. We made our money and we moved to this next setup. We moved to the next setup. So I was analyzing that pair because I remember one member in our team was doing some analysis and we had to analyze that particular pair. So I was saying that that move was going to happen. So what happened is that the market opened on Monday with a gap, but it still came down. So basically, I think we are done with the day. So in case you have any question, feel free to reach me and I will be able to help you. Goodbye. And I hope that you have a good week in the coming week. Let's all be profitable. Let's take care of our profit, and let's also take care of our capital because it's hard and money. Bye.